in the cross. They could shoot, and it's in!
That guy Brown who cuts inside and gets a shot past the goalkeeper. Wonderful work from Brad.
Pass over the right side. The shot and the goal.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Bryant Stadium in Lakeland, Florida for a brand new match of the United Premier Soccer League. Today we have a doubleheader from Lakeland United. Right now, Division 1 Spring Season Florida West Conference, Lakeland United 2 will be facing on Florida Premier FC 2. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the YouTube channel of Lakeland United. Thanks for supporting your team, for cheering for your friends and family. Without your support on the other side, this broadcast wouldn't be possible. We already have the teams and the players ready for the start of the match. So without further ado, let's go over the starting lineups of both Lakeland United and Florida Premier for this match. Head coach Pedro Ivo Diaz has decided to put Eduardo Canuto as the goalkeeper, number 45, number 13, Jono Mihailov, number 15, Pedro Alejandro, 59, Tuan Rueling, number 31, Pedro Ramos, number 40, Luca Pereira, number 17, Shintaro Kawabata, number 50, Pedro Calut, number 56, Juan Adrián Muñoz, number 16, Zach Magal, and number 49, Omar Yousaf. Those are the players of Lakeland United 2 for this match. Meanwhile, Florida Premier FC 2, coached by Thurston Johnson, will have Maximus McCulloch as the goalkeeper with number 1, number 23, Landon Hebb, number 44, 94, Giorgio Cantaras, number 14, Maximo Narvaez, number 66, Hunter Lindsay, number 3, Asher Bode, number 10, Sebastian Toro, number 95, David Hilleman, number 29, Jose Contreras, number 62, Johan Murillo, and number 70, Mohamed Tahedin. Those are the players, and here they come. Accompanied by the officials, here we have the 22 players that will start in this match. Everyone's getting ready for the start of this game. Lakeland United and Florida Premier, two of the best teams in the Florida West Conference. Now, the usual greeting in between the players and the officials of both teams. Florida Premier led by their captain, number 10, Sebastian Toro. And here comes Lakeland United. Here is the team comparison in between the teams. Lakeland United right now sitting on the 8th position with only 5 games played, 3 victories, 1 draw and 1 loss, with 15 goals scored and only 6 conceded. And Florida Premier sitting on the 4th position, undefeated, 4 victories and 2 draws, 22 goal scores, amazing numbers from the team coached by Johnson, and only 6 goals conceded. Out of their last 3 games that they playing away from home, Florida Premier has played 3 games, they won only 1 and tied the other 2. The captain of Lakeland United today is number 13, Jono Mihailov. And the game is about to start once again. On the right side of your screen, wearing a sky blue jersey, we have Lakeland United as we watch the standings of the Florida West Conference here in the Division 1. Right now the leaders are Shock City with 19 points. Just behind them, Player Club Brandon with 18 points, IMG Academy Blue with 16. After that we have Florida Premier with 14 alongside St. Petersburg Aztecs with 14 and Dynamic Football. Florida Celtic has 13 points and they were defeated by Lakeland on the week. Lakeland United with 10 points alongside States Upper 90 FC has only 6. IMG Academy Black has 3 points. And on the bottom of the table, we have Twin Rivers United. If Lakeland wins today, they will reach the 7th position. And like we said, they still have a lot of games to play to catch up with the rest of the teams in the Florida West Conference. They could potentially become the leaders and, after doing so, secure a spot on the playoffs of the Division 1. This is the first game of the season with the Lakeland United here at Bryant Stadium, their home opener game. And after that, we'll have the match of the Premier Division. So ladies and gentlemen, get comfortable because the game is about to start. Florida Premier with Jose Contreras in front of the ball, ready for the kickoff. That's the whistle, and we're on. Lakeland United 2 against Florida Premier FC 2. The game is on. Lakeland wants to secure another 3 points, just like they did against Florida Celtic. A great victory, 4-2, with goals scored by Kalut and Yoshida. The ball comes to number 70, Mohamed Tajedin. Mohamed lost the ball, and now it's a throw-in for Lakeland. Already played in short. That's number 56, Munoz. Munoz tried to play with number 49, Omar Yusuf. It wasn't possible, and now Florida Premier clears it out. Over the right side, Lakeland United has the ball towards the center with Munoz. Juan Adrian protects the ball, goes back with the captain, Mikhailov. Back and forth in between the center backs and back to the goalkeeper, Eduardo Canuto. Mikhailov turns around. He tried to play with Yusuf. The ball is intercepted and recovered by Florida Premier, and here they come. It's a dangerous situation. Mikhailov with good defending, and here comes Mohamed Tajedin. Tajedin with the cross, good header by Pedro Alejandro. Their rebound with number 62, Johan Murillo from Colombia. Murillo towards the left side. It's a good build-up here. Pedro Ramos needs to stop the player from Florida Premier. There's no foul. The game continues. Be careful here. The shot by Mohamed Tajedin got blocked. And after that, Toro tried to score, but one of his teammates blocked the shot. Lakeland United recovers the ball. And now they cleared it out towards the strikers, trying to put some distance in between Florida Premier and the goal of Eduardo Canuto. A free kick for the Swans. Free kick for Lakeland United at the start of the game. Canuto over the left side. Pedro Alejandro. Alejandro with Luca Pereira. Back to number 50. Alejandro with Mikhailov, the captain. Munoz going back with Roeling. Roeling towards Pereira. Here comes Luca. Pereira back with Alejandro. And here comes the captain again, Jono Mikhailov from Bulgaria. That's Eduardo Canuto. Lakeland wants to keep the ball, and so far they do so. Long pass towards the strikers, but there's not a single striker from Lakeland there. Florida Premier recovers the ball, and they play in short. Over the right side, that's number 23, Landon Hev. Hev back towards the center back. Long ball towards the left side now. Cantaras trying to reach the strikers. Good work right here by Pedro Ramos. Canuto slips, he falls, and Florida Premier scores the first goal of the match, ladies and gentlemen. It was a good recovery, and after one mistake by the goalkeeper, the striker from Florida Premier is able to score the first goal of the match. Florida Premier 1, Lakeland United 0. Here's the replay, ladies and gentlemen. The goal scored by Maximo Narvaez, number 14. Now Lakeland needs to respond. How are they gonna do it? Mikhailov with a quick pass towards the right side. Munoz. Pereira is wide open on the left side. They play with Luca. Luca tries to play along with Omar Yusuf. Good work by the striker who goes forward and leaves the ball with Pedro Calut. Good pass back to Omar. Omar towards the right side, searching for Kawabata. It's a slow but steady progress that Lakeland is doing here. Trying to get across, good defense by Florida Premier. And it's going to be a throw-in for Lakeland. Ready to play, Pedro Ramos towards the center with Omar Yousaf. Clearance by Florida Premier, the header by Jono Mihailov. And once again, the Swans are attacking on the left side. That's number 40, Luca Pereira, who slips and falls. Throw-in for Lakeland, once again with Luca Pereira. It's going to be a throw-in for Florida Premier. Good defending against Zach Magal, the striker from Northern Ireland. Mohamed Tajadin with the throw-in. The recovery by Mihailov. Going back with Eduardo Canuto. The pressure by Murillo. Over the right side, that was Rueling playing with Ramos. Pedro protects the ball, and we go back with the goalkeeper Canuto. Pedro Ivo Diaz, the head coach of Lakeland United, has made 5 substitutions from the last match against Florida Celtic, including the goalkeeper. Today we don't have Fonseca, Yanes, Yoshida, Cervantes or Takahashi. They are not even on the substitute bench. Munoz with the recovery. A quick pass to the goalkeeper, Eduardo Canuto. Canuto with Mihailov. Jono with Munoz. Juan Adrian goes back with Canuto. Tries to play long, searching for Shintaro. Although it's not a good pass, Florida Premier recovers the ball with a throw-in. They already played it. Florida Premier is winning 1-0 thanks to a goal scored by Maximo Narvaez. The goalkeeper, Maximus McCulloch, participating for the first time in the match. The pressure by Magal and Omar Yousaf. Florida Premier plays over the right side. The ball from Heb back to the goalkeeper Maximus. That's Giorgio Cantaras. Getting close, number 3. That's Asher Bode. Asher leaving the ball with Landon Heb. Heb attempts to do a long ball for Mohamed Tajedin. Mohamed runs after the ball and he makes it just in time. Good recovery here by Pedro Alejandro. Played back with Canuto. Canuto with Mihailov. And the captain goes forward. Pass from Mihailov towards Magal, who lost the ball. Here comes Florida Premier yet again. The team from Tampa trying to score their second goal of the match. Once again, good defending by Pedro Alejandro. The left back from Lakeland United. Doing a solid job so far. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for following the game live on the YouTube channel of Lakeland United. Right now the Swans are trying to recover the ball as Mohamed Tajedin loses the ball against number 50, Pedro Calut. Good work by Pedro. That's number 49, Omar Yousaf towards the center. The interception by Florida Premier. Helping out, Munoz leaving the ball with Kawabata. Rolling with Mihailov. Mihailov with Munoz. We go over the left side again. That's a foul against Pedro Calut. And a free kick for Lakeland United. A yellow card for number 66, if I'm not mistaken, Hunter Lindsay. Free kick for Lakeland United. And here's the replay of the foul. That's Pedro protecting the ball. From behind, yeah, Hunter Lindsay was the player who received the first yellow card of the match. A quick short pass to the center back, Tuan Rolling. Lakeland lost the ball, and this could be a dangerous counter-attack. Narvaez leads the way. Quick pass towards the left side, Rolling has to stop it. Lakeland loses the ball. Good pressure by Asherbode. In the end, Lakeland comes out on top on this one. But it's not an easy game for the Swans so far. Good header by Lindsay, throwing for Lakeland. 9 minutes, Lakeland hasn't created a single opportunity on the offensive side of the match. We're asking for a ball in order to keep the game going. Here comes the ball, and we're ready to continue. Number 40, Luca Pereira, is in charge of the throwing. Luca towards the center, reaching number 17, Shintaro Kawabata. That's a good pass over the right side, and here comes Pedro Ramos. Let's see what happens with this opportunity. It could be a good cross. There goes the ball towards the hands of Maximus McCulloch. First 10 minutes of the match. Florida Premier winning thanks to a goal scored by Maximo Narvaez. The ball back to the center back, Giorgio Cantaras, who plays over the right side with Landon Heve. Landon takes a moment, short pass to Asherbode, back to Heve, and Heve with Giorgio Cantaras. The pressure by Zach Magal. Over the right side, Kawabata tries to help out. It's a good run by Florida Premier. Over the left side, and Lakeland is able to recover it. Good work by the Swans here. Ramos towards the captain, Jono Mihailov. Pedro Alejandro is wide open. Instead, we go with Kawabata. Recovery by Florida Premier. Be careful with these losses and these counter-attacks. Good recovery here by Luca Pereira. Luca couldn't keep it. The header by Pedro Alejandro. Munoz. Good work by Juan Adrián Munoz. The pass towards the right side. Kawabata turns around. Lakeland trying to find a way to hurt Florida Premier. Pedro Alejandro, Mihailov over the right side, rolling, awaits a pass. Instead, Mihailov goes forward. It seemed like a foul from behind against Magal. The ref allows the game to continue. Munoz, Pedro Alejandro, along the line with Luca Pereira. Good work by Luca. And Pereira goes forward. He enters the box. He makes the cross. And the pass is intercepted by Landon Heve. Recovery by Lakeland. Lakeland is making progress. Lakeland is getting closer. There goes the box. Towards the far post, there's nobody there. But just like we said, Lakeland is getting closer. Lakeland is starting to threaten Florida Premier FC. The team from Tampa has a defensive throw-in. And like you can see, Lakeland is getting ready to do a high pressure. Good pressure and good recovery by Lakeland. The captain Mihailov has the ball. Mihailov back to the goalkeeper, Eduardo Canuto. Canuto has a lot of options. He wants to play in short. Munoz with Mihailov. Mihailov with Pedro Alejandro. Pedro Alejandro back to the captain. The center back from Bulgaria towards the right side. Kawabata. Good work by Shintaro. Once again, Mihailov playing with Shintaro Kawabata. Over the right side, Ramos. Pedro towards the center with Pedro Calut. Pedro turns around. That's a good pass over the left side. It was a good opportunity, but the shot from Munoz was off target. It's a goal kick for Maximus McCulloch and for Florida Premier. Nevertheless, Lakeland is getting closer. Lakeland is starting to generate. Here's the opportunity. The pass towards Munoz. Munoz had the space. And honestly, I would have done the same. That's number 23, Landon Heve, playing with number 94, Giorgio Cantaras. Asherbode is close, but instead we go back with Landon Heve. The pressure from Omar Yousaf. Back to Cantaras. Zach Magal tries to recover the ball. He's not able to do so. Good pressure by Pedro Calut. The pass towards Omar. Omar falls, and the ref says it's a free kick, and it's going to be a yellow card, ref. Or it's not going to be a yellow card. It's just a warning, but this is a free kick for Lakeland United in a great position. Amazing pressure by number 50, by Pedro Calut, with the help, of course, of the rest of his teammates, Munoz and Zach Magal. As soon as Omar felt the contact, he went down. And now let's see if Lakeland United is able to score with this free kick. They could either shoot or make a cross. It's a great angle. Pedro Alejandro could also receive a pass. You can see right there, number 15, wide open for a pass. But I think Omar is going to try to score from there. Maximus McCulloch aligning 3 players on the barrier. The ref instructing Omar to not play until the whistle, and that's exactly what happened. The ref is saying, I didn't blow the whistle, I didn't give the order, you have to play again. But they played in short. Keep that in mind. Be careful here because they could show a yellow card. No. The ref is telling the player from Lakeland to respect. It's going to be Pedro Ramos, number 31, not Omar. Pedro Ramos in charge of this free kick. He raises one hand. Ramos tries to make a cross. Good clearance by the goalkeeper Maximus. And that's a clearance by Mohamed Taherin. The recovery by number 59, rolling the pass towards Mikhailov. And over the right side, once again, Lakeland tries to advance. The clearance by Florida Premier, and Lakeland is not able to recover it. Be careful here. Over the right side, there's a lot of space. The ball went out. Good pressure by Lakeland, recovering it with a throw-in. Quickly played with Munoz. Munoz lost the ball again. And here comes Florida Premier. Although there are more defenders than attackers, that's where Florida Premier plays back. Long ball by Landon Hebb. Here comes Magal. Zach tries to keep the ball, but he's not able to do so. Pedro Alejandro. Good work by Pedro. Although his pass didn't make it to Luca Pereira, it was a good intervention by the left back from Lakeland United. Here comes the throw-in. That's number 10, Sebastián Toro, the captain. Once again, Pedro Alejandro. Thanks to the help of the people, the ball goes back to the field, and Mohamed Taherin plays towards the center with Toro. Toro with Giorgio Cantaras. Cantaras towards the left side, searching for Narváez. Once again, that's a good pass to Máximo Narváez, the one responsible for the only goal of the match. It's gonna be a throw-in for Florida Premier on Lakeland side. Played back with Lindsay. Hunter keeps the ball. Good pressure by Pedro Calut. Lindsay protects the ball. He goes back. That's number 10, Sebastián Toro. Sebastián Toro with Landon Hebb. If Lakeland recovers the ball, they could make a counter-attack. Mohamed Taherin missed the header. It's a throw-in for Lakeland. Let's see if they play it quickly. Luca Pereira. Luca towards the center with the captain. That's Jono Mikhailov. Mikhailov towards the right side with Pedro Ramos. Pedro Ramos protects the ball. He goes now with number 50, Calut. PK goes forward. He leaves the ball once again with his teammate, number 31, Ramos. That's Kawabata. Shintaro. Ramos. Calut. Ramos back to PK. They go back with Shintaro, but the ball left the field. Unfortunate for Lakeland. Florida Premier once again has a throw-in. The throw-in already played with Cantaras. Giorgio plays with number 23, Landon Hebb. Back to Cantaras. Now Luca Pereira with the pressure. Trying to help out Pedro Alejandro. Good pressure by Lakeland again. Munoz goes after the ball. That's number 3, Asher Bode, playing over the left side. Narvaez. Maximo with a long ball. Pedro Alejandro. The ball went out. Throwing that Pedro Alejandro already plays with the captain. That's Jono Mihailov. A good thing to notice for Lakeland is that since Florida Premier scored the goal, Lakeland has been the team that has dominated the game. They are making progress, but they're not creating a lot of situations. That's the only downside. Maximus McCulloch waits a little bit of time. He plays with Giorgio Cantaras. And a quick short pass to Hunter Lindsay. Over the right side, that's Landon Hev. The pressure by Pereira, helping out Omar. Over the left side, Cantaras. Cantaras tries to play along the line, and he's able to do so. David Hilleman. Long ball for Narvaez, who is not offside. Good defending by Tuan Rueling, the center back from the Netherlands. Already 20 minutes of the first half. Florida Premier scored in the 3rd minute. Played back with Lindsay, the only player who has a yellow card so far. Hunter protects the ball. He wants to go back, and we go back with Giorgio Cantaras. Cantaras plays with Landon Hev. Hev goes forward, he has space. Lakeland is not rushing him. The pass with Mohamed Tajedin. Good dribbling skills by Mohamed, who enters the box. He shoots, and the goalkeeper, Eduardo Canuto, is able to stop the first shot from Florida Premier in a while. We already seen what Mohamed is able to do, so Lakeland should keep an eye on the left side. Alejandro back to Mihailov. Mihailov, the pass forward, the recovery by Mohamed. And here comes number 62, Johan Murillo. Murillo with the cross, the goalkeeper. Good catch by Eduardo Canuto. There was a deflection midway. He was able to cut it. That's Pedro Calut. Pedro with Zach Magal. Zach tried to turn around. He tried to play over the left side with Luca Pereira. The pressure from behind by Florida Premier was able to recover then the ball. That's Sebastian Toro. Landon Hev. Hev plays forward with number 62, Johan Murillo. Lakeland is not able to stop this attack, but the ref stops the attack of Florida Premier because the ball bounced off him. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a drop ball for Florida Premier. Number 3, Asher Bode plays back with number 94, Giorgio Cantaras. Long ball towards Narvaez. Cantaras, the center back, could play over the right side. Instead, he tried to play with Mohamed. Good pressure by Zach Magal, although he's not able to completely recover it. The pass from Toro towards Hunter Lindsay. Long ball over the right side towards Mohamed Tajedin. Pedro Alejandro gets in the way, trying to stop Mohamed. Pedro Alejandro, ladies and gentlemen. So far in the match, my favorite player. The throw-in played back with number 23, Landon Hev. That's number 66, Lindsay. Hunter. Back to Toro. Toro with Giorgio Cantaras, the last man, the last defender. And the ball goes over the left side with David Hillman. Good pressure by Shintaro Kawabata. Alongside Ramos, they're able to send the ball out. It's a throw-in for Florida Premier. No, it's a throw-in for Lakeland. Good work right there by Shintaro and Ramos. That's the captain, Jono Mihailov. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for watching the game live on the YouTube channel of Lakeland United. If you're a fan of Lakeland, please subscribe. The only place where you find all the games from the Swans. Pedro Alejandro, back to the goalkeeper, Eduardo Canuto. Canuto, once again with Pedro Alejandro. He could play with Pereira. Luca plays quickly along the line, but there's nobody there. Ladies and gentlemen, the ref stops the game. Hydration break. Time for the players to drink some water, rehydrate themselves, and be ready for what's left of the first half. We still have 21 more minutes before the end of the first half. Florida Premier is winning 1-0 thanks to a goal scored by Maximo Narvaez. Here's the replay of the only goal. A mistake. A good pressure by Maximo recovering the ball. And Canuto was not ready for the one-on-one situation. Good dribbling skills by Narvaez, surpassing the goalkeeper and scoring so far the only goal of the match. It's time for the players to listen to their coaches. Meanwhile, here are the substitutes of Lakeland United. The substitute goalkeeper is number 30, Riku Yamasaki. We also have number 19, Lucas Frigo, number 22, Lucas Jungers, number 29, Joao Vitor Lopez, number 34, Joao Martins, number 38, Connor Berg, number 39, Jacob Fox, number 42, Jose Miguel Portillo, and number 54, Gabriel Malix. Those are the substitutes of Lakeland, waiting for their chance and their moment. Meanwhile, head coach Thurston Johnson has Isaiah Vieira, number 8, number 12 from Poland, Hubert Kamik, number 19, Dion Shala, number 20, Pedro Arroyo, number 22, Lucas Moreno, number 55, Anthony Willoughby, and number 98, Konstantinos Kantaras, the brother from Georgia. The assistant referees taking the moment as well to drink some water. We have 20 more minutes. And not a lot has happened. Once again, this is the goal of the game so far. Florida Premier has had one more shot by Mohamed Tajedin that Eduardo Canuto was able to save. Lakeland United so far made only one shot with Juan Adrian Munoz that went off target. Lakeland United has the possession of the ball. They are controlling it, but they are struggling with the creation. At least in the last quarter of the field. Maximus McCulloch so far hasn't made a single save. We await for the return of the players. Lakeland United is trying to make a comeback after a difficult start. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching the game live on the YouTube channel of Lakeland United. Thanks to your support, this broadcast is possible. So thanks a lot for supporting your team, for cheering for your friends and family. Thank you. Obrigado. Also, please know that this broadcast is made possible thanks to the production of Better Media, today with the direction of Gonzalo Echeverri and the assistance of Tamara Juarez. The players from Florida Premier are returning to the field. Meanwhile, head coach Pedro Ivo Diaz is still talking with his players. Pedro Ivo Diaz is the fourth coach in the history of Lakeland United. He is coaching his first season with the Swans after Adriano Leiber went on. And as the players return, as the officials return as well, the players of Lakeland do the same. Over here, Luca Pereira is ready to play. Remember, Lakeland had a throw-in. No, Florida Premier had the throw-in. 28 minutes of the first half. 17 more minutes ahead of us. In charge of the throw-in, number 70, Mohamed Tajedin. We keep going. London have with Giorgio Cantaras. Cantaras with another long ball over the left side, searching for Narvaez. He couldn't control the ball, so this is a throw-in for Lakeland. It's a throw-in for Pedro Ramos. Pedro plays back with Tuan Rueling. Back to the goalkeeper, Eduardo Canuto. Pedro Alejandro is wide open. Pedro Alejandro receives the ball. Back to the captain, back to Jono Mihailov. Mihailov turns around and goes with Pedro Alejandro. Pedro Alejandro goes forward. That's Magal. Tak loses the ball. Murillo, Pedro Alejandro with the pressure and the recovery. Over here, Tajedin with an amazing nutmeg. Good work by Mohamed. Pedro Alejandro from behind, stopping the advance of Florida Premier. That's Landon Hebb going with the center back, Giorgio Cantaras. What an amazing nutmeg Mohamed Tajedin just made. Long ball from Narvaez that ends up out of the field. And Lakeland doesn't want to waste a single second. They quickly played with Eduardo Canuto, who plays with Mihailov. The captain goes forward. He tries to leave Murillo on the way. He loses the ball. And in the end, Florida Premier was not able to take advantage of that situation. That's Eduardo Canuto going back with Mihailov, the captain. Magal with Alejandro. Alejandro with Luca Pereira. Luca Pereira was just a step away from the ball. Mohamed Tajedin towards the center. Good pressure by Pedro Calut. But still, Florida Premier opens the ball over the left side. Pedro Ramos first. Good recovery by Pedro. Here comes the right back. Pedro Ramos. He could play with Shintaro. He could play with Omar. He plays towards the center with Magal. Sak plays quickly. A quick short pass towards the center. Munoz leaves the ball now with Pedro Alejandro. Pedro Alejandro with Luca Pereira. Luca Pereira trying to make a cross here. Pedro Alejandro is open for a pass back. He's not able to continue. That's why he goes back with Pedro Alejandro. Mihailov. Almost all of the players from Lakeland are attacking. Mihailov towards the right side. It's a good opportunity. That's Shintaro Kawabata. Kawabata with the shot. The rebound. Omar Youssef with the header. Sak Magal with the shot. And the clearance by Florida. Lakeland is giving their best to score the equalizer. The header by Eduardo Canuto. Pedro Calut fights for the ball. He's not able to keep it though. The pressure from behind, that's a foul. Yes, it is. After the water break, Lakeland has definitely improved. What a situation they had. This is a foul against Hunter Lindsay. They charge him from behind. And the free kick has already been played. That's number 95, David Hillman, losing the ball. I'm not so sure if it was a foul. The assistant referee raised the flag, and it's a free kick for the Hammers. Here's the replay, just to be sure. I had my doubts. Once again, long ball towards Narvaez. Ball back towards the goalkeeper, Canuto. Mihailov. Center back from Bulgaria. Good dribbling skills here, leaving two players on the way. He received a foul, so it's a free kick for the Swans. It's a free kick for Lakeland. Mihailov is ready to play. That's why he plays with Pedro Calut. Back to Mihailov. Over the right side with Pedro Ramos. Shintaro Kawabata. Over the left side, Pedro Alejandro is asking for a pass. First, we go with the captain, Mihailov, and now we go with Pedro Alejandro. Pedro Alejandro with Luca Pereira. Luca Pereira with Magal, back to Pereira, amazing pass. The center towards Omar. Over the right side, there's nobody to grab that pass, but an amazing play. Amazing circulation of the ball. Great 1-2 in between Pereira and Magal. It's a throw-in for Florida Premier. There goes the throw-in. The pressure by Lakeland once again is amazing. Pedro Calut. Pedro with great dribbling skills. Calut goes forward. He goes down, and the ref says it's not a foul. although nobody was asking for a penalty there. The clearance from Florida Premier, and Lakeland recovers the ball with a throw-in. That's Mikhailov. Mikhailov over the right side. Ramos with Shintaro, back to Ramos. Throw-in for Lakeland. Pedro Ramos. He reaches Omar. Omar goes back with Pedro. Ramos with Shintaro Kawabata. Shintaro with Ramos. Ramos tries to play with Shintaro. Good work by Kawabata. Shintaro with the cross. And be careful with the rebound. It's another shot that gets blocked. Another shot by Pedro. Pedro Kalut almost scored the goal. Like we said before, Lakeland is improving. Lakeland is getting closer to the equalizer. It's going to be a corner kick. It's a corner kick for Lakeland United 2. Who do we have? Which players are waiting for the cross? We have Munoz. We have Relling. This is an interesting tactic. Almost all of the players from Lakeland on the far post. How are they going to play it? Now they go towards the first one. There goes the cross towards the far post. It's a good header, a good attempt by Omar Yusaba, Luca Pereira. Once again over the right side. Another cross, searching for a header. The clearance by Giorgio Cantaras. Pedro Kalut. Pedro Alejandro over the right side. 35 minutes of the first half, 10 more minutes to go. Pedro Kalut turns around. Pedro Kalut with Mikhailov. Mikhailov with Pedro Alejandro. Pedro Alejandro with number 40, Luca Pereira. Pereira with the pass towards the left side, trying to get across here towards Omar Yusuf. And the clearance by Florida Premier. Once again, Pedro Alejandro. Pedro Alejandro plays back. That's Mikhailov. That's Shintaro Kawabata going forward. Once again, Kawabata. The cross, and Maximus McCulloch with some effort grabs the ball and stops the attack. 36 minutes. And it's been a while since Florida Premier actually stood in Lakeland United side. The pressure from Lakeland is relentless. Giorgio Cantaras. Cantaras over the left side. Asher Bode is open for a pass, but instead Hunter Lindsay is not able to pass it. Good work and good recovery here. Already played with Pedro Kalut. Number 50. PK going back with Ramos. Ramos tries to play forward with Omar. The pressure by Pedro Kalut and the recovery in the end by Florida Premier. That's the goalkeeper, Maximus McCulloch. Cantaras. That's Landon Have. Go back with Lindsay. Hunter Lindsay goes forward now with number 62, Murillo, Johan, Asher Bode. Back to Murillo. Good association here by Florida Premier. Here comes Asher Bode. Asher plays back. That's Hunter Lindsay. Over the left side, Giorgio Cantaras. He could play with Toro. He could play with Landon Have. He goes with Toro. He goes with the captain. Now we go with Landon Have. It's the first attack of Florida Premier in a while. Have leaves the ball with Mohamed Tajedin. The pass towards the center with Lindsay. Play back with Toro. Cantaras. Giorgio with the pass towards Murillo. Good header by Pedro Alejandro. Asher Bode struggles with the ball. Zach Magal with the recovery. Good work by Zach. Asher Bode. The pass from Asher towards the center. Be careful here at full speed. That's number 23, Landon Have. Landon Have enters the box and Have crosses it. The clearance by Tuan Rueling. Florida Premier insists with Hunter Lindsay. Lindsay plays back. Toro. Cantaras. If Lakeland recovers the ball, they have an amazing counter-attack. But here comes Florida Premier. Great pass. Rueling gets in the way. Hunter Lindsay. Murillo. Murillo with the cross towards the far post. That's a foul from behind, ref. The ref dismisses what just happened in the box, and he awarded a throw-in for Florida Premier. 6 minutes before the end of the first half, Florida Premier is winning 1-0, thanks to a goal scored by Máximo Narváez. Contreras is down on the ground. The ref is asking for the entrance of the medical staff. The defender and Contreras had a concussion, a clash in between heads. Contreras took the worst part. Ladies and gentlemen, almost 40 minutes of the first half. Right now the game is stopped because Jose Contreras needs assistance. We're 5 minutes away from the halftime. Florida Premier is defeating Lakeland United here at Bryant Stadium. After a while, Florida Premier was able to create some type of danger towards Eduardo Canuto. But when Florida Premier attacks, almost all of the players from Florida Premier go towards Lakeland side, which in hindsight leaves them wide open for a counter-attack. If Lakeland is able to recover the ball and move quickly, they'll have the equalizer sooner than they realize. With the help of the med, Contreras comes back up, and I'm not too sure if he's gonna be able to continue. There it goes, Jose. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, that once the game continues, Florida Premier will have a throw-in on the left side, or on the far side of the field. After this match of the Division 1, Lakeland United will play again in the Premier Division against Florida Premier once again. A small talk in between the players of Lakeland United, most likely discussing the ways how to get close to the box of Maximus McCulloch and Florida Premier.
Maneiro Epic, né?
Você foi naquele Epic Universe, né? Fui ontem. Pô, queria ir, pô. É lá no lugar do Universal mesmo ou é outro? Perto, não é.
Então também pertinho da tua casa, né?
7 minutos. Caraca. Então não é no City Walk, não, né?
Não, outro não.
Imagina, legal, pô.
Vai curtir a dia.
Lakeland awaits the comeback of Florida Premier.
7, ó, 22, ó. Preciso ir, pô. Maravilha, que legal.
We still have 2 more minutes before the end of the first half. It's been a difficult first half. Here they come. Máximo Narváez in charge of the throw-in. Johan Murillo gets close. The ref gives the order. We can keep going.
Aí a Lady falou assim, Nilão deve estar lá onde ela não fio.
There's been a substitution, ladies and gentlemen. Pedro Arroyo was subbed in Jose Contreras was subbed out after what just happened.
Ingresso você paga.
The first substitution in Florida Premier, and now Lakeland wants to score the equalizer before the halftime. Long ball towards the left side. That's Luca Pereira. Pereira with Alejandro, back to Pereira. Good defending by Landen Hev. The throw-in played back with Pedro Alejandro. Good work by Pedro, who was rushed by Pedro Arroyo, who was just subbed in. That's Tuan Rueling, the center back from the Netherlands, with a quick pass over the right side. That's Shintaro Kawabata. That's Pedro Ramos with the cross towards the far post. Magal with the header. Zach was not able to give the direction he wanted to the ball, but once again, Lakeland is getting closer and closer to the equalizer. So close. It's gonna be a throw-in, and Lakeland wants to put a high pressure in order to recover the ball. They've done this before. They know what it's all about. And there goes a long throw-in by Florida Premier, recovered by Lakeland. Lakeland heads it out.
Fechou já, pois não?
We are officially playing injury time.
Não. Só vou fechar assim.
Não, Urem.
Mohamed Tajedin goes after the ball.
Chega segundo, mas não.
E onde é que ele ia ficar?
He passes the ball to Landen Hev and comes back to the field.
Urem só vai aqui.
Hev fakes a throw-in back to Giorgio Cantaras. He plays it forward. The recovery by Rueling, and that's a foul. It's a ball for Lakeland, right there in the midfield. It's a free kick for the Swans. It seems like the captain, Jono Mihailov, will be in charge of it. He plays in short with Pedro Calut, over the left side with Pedro Alejandro. A lot of Pedros. We have Pedro Alejandro, Pedro Ramos, and Pedro Calut. Pedro Calut goes forward with Omar Yousaf. Over the right side now. That's Shintaro Kawabata. Shintaro with the cross towards the far post. Almost a goal! I don't know if Maximus McCulloch was able to touch the ball. It seems like he was able to touch it. Shintaro Kawabata almost scored the equalizer. Amazing opportunity. It's a corner kick for Lakeland. The Swans want to score before the halftime. And it seems like they are doing the same strategy that they did on the other corner kick. All of the players go towards the far post. And here they come. Here goes the cross towards the far post, the header, the clearance by Florida Premier. Lakeland tries to recover it. Pedro Calut sends it forward. The recovery by Florida Premier. And ladies and gentlemen, there was an offside position. The assistant referee raised the flag, so it's going to be a free kick for Florida Premier, most likely the last ball of the first half. A quick short pass from Landen Hev towards Toro. Toro with Cantaras. Giorgio back to the captain. That's Sebastián Toro. Sebastián Toro with Asher Bode. Asher Bode with Cantaras. Giorgio with a long ball towards Narvaez. It's a good opportunity. Good tackle, good recovery by Lakeland. And there goes Pedro Calut. Pedro goes down. I believe that's a foul. The ref says it wasn't a foul. Pedro Calut fights for the ball. He recovers it. And at the end, he wasn't able to keep going. Rueling. Rueling with the pass forward with Shintaro Kawabata. Lakeland keeps the ball. We keep going, we keep going. Pedro Alejandro. Luca Pereira. Luca Pereira with the cross towards the far post. Shintaro Kawabata with the header. The ball still in the field. It never came out. That's Pedro Ramos. Kawabata. Shintaro back to Pedro Calut. No, that's Rueling. That's Pedro Calut. Pedro with the cross. Amazing pass toward Omar. Omar! And the goalkeeper, Maximus McCulloch, with the save. It's going to be another corner kick. Amazing assist. Amazing pass by Pedro Calut. Omar Yousaf with a good control and a good shot. Maximus McCulloch got on the way. And another corner kick for Lakeland. Ladies and gentlemen, Lakeland United is getting closer and closer to the equalizer. And here they come. The cross towards the far post this time. Recovery by Florida Premier, and they could get a counter-attack here. That's Pedro Arroyo. Pedro Arroyo goes forward with number 62, Murillo. Trying to stop this attack. Munoz. The pass towards the right side. That's number 66, Lindsay. Hunter with the shot. Good defending. Good defending and great clearance. Lakeland United is not giving up. That's number 49. Omar Yousaf goes down. Good recovery by Mohamed Tahedin. Mohamed towards the center. Tahedin keeps the ball. Roeling, the center back from the Netherlands. Top his advance, and that's the end of the first half, ladies and gentlemen. After 50 minutes, Florida Premier is winning by just one goal scored by Maximo Narvaez. Lakeland United will not give up, they will not throw the towel, and they will go for the comeback after this little break. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you so much for being on the other side of this broadcast, supporting your team, cheering for your friends and family. Without your support, this broadcast wouldn't be possible. So thanks a lot. And of course, thanks to the folks of Better Media, the ones responsible for this broadcast today with the direction of Gonzalo Echeverri and the assistance of Tamara Juarez. So we're gonna go over a little break here at Bryant Stadium. Florida Premier FC 2 is defeating Lakeland United 2-1-0. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The players are returning for the second half of this match in between Florida Premier FC and Lakeland United, and here we have the halftime highlights of the best of the first half. After a mistake here, Maximo Narvaez recovers the ball for Florida Premier, gets out of the way from the goalkeeper Canuto, and scores the only goal of the game so far. Because of that goal, Florida Premier is winning 1-0 against Lakeland United, but after the goal, Lakeland improved a lot, and they got really close to the equalizer. So, ladies and gentlemen, get comfortable because the second half is about to start. If we see any substitutions or any new players, we'll let you know. But by the looks of it, it's gonna be the same 22 players that finished the first half. Remember that Contreras left the field with an injury and Pedro Arroyo was subbed in his place. Although I'm not seeing number 16, Zach Magal, and I'm seeing Luca Frigo, number 19. That's a substitution. Zach Magal was subbed out. Luca Frigo was subbed in Lakeland United. That's the whistle, and the second half has officially started. Lakeland United is trying to make a comeback against Florida Premier. The goalkeeper Canuto playing with Tuan Rueling. Once again, only one substitution in Lakeland. That's Ramos with a great pass towards Omar. Omar leaving the ball with Luca Frigo. Luca Frigo, who was just subbed in. Pedro Ramos goes after the ball. The ball goes out, and it's a throw-in for Lakeland. Zach Magal, number 16, was subbed out. Luca Frigo, number 19, was subbed in Lakeland United. That's Rueling fighting for the ball. The ball goes out. It's going to be another throw-in for Lakeland. Over there, Pedro Ramos. Pedro ready to play. The ball towards the box, towards Omar. Yusuf plays quickly over the left side. The clearance by Landon Hebb. A recovery, and here comes Lakeland once again. They enter the box. They try to make a cross here. There goes the ball. The control is good. They try to shoot. Giorgio Cantaras gets in the way. Another throw-in for Lakeland. They've started the second half with everything they have. That's number 31, Pedro Ramos, playing with Pedro Calut. Calut with the cross. Cantaras once again with the header, with the clearance. Munoz over the right side. Calut. Pedro tries to play in short. Calut and Ramos struggle for the ball. Pedro Ramos. Pedro loses against Cantaras, and Giorgio clears it out. From behind, the captain Mikhailov recovers the ball. Pedro Alejandro back to Eduardo Canuto. Canuto with Rueling. Rueling with Pedro Ramos. Pedro Ramos towards the center. He goes back with Rueling. The center back from the Netherlands, played in short. Back to Rueling. Pedro Alejandro is asking for a pass. Rueling played in short and lost the ball. It's a counter-attack. At full speed, here comes Arroyo. Pedro Arroyo in control of the ball. He plays back with number 10, Toro. Sebastian Toro played with Asher Bode. Asher Bode over the right side. The attack of Florida Premier, the Lutz. That's Narvaez. Narvaez back with number 95. That's David Hillman. Their recovery, and Lakeland tries to advance. But the long pass they tried to do got in the way of the defenders. Another recovery by the Swans. Lakeland protects the ball. The pass over the right side. That's Pedro Ramos. Ramos tries to keep the ball. With the help of his teammate, Lakeland keeps the ball. Rueling with Mikhailov. Mikhailov over the left side with Pedro Alejandro. Pedro Alejandro with Luca Pereira. Leaving the ball back. They could make a cross. Munoz. Pedro Alejandro. Pedro Alejandro with Rueling. Rueling over the right side. Ramos. Quick pass from Ramos to Frigo. Here comes Luca. Frigo towards the center. Frigo over the left side now. Munoz protects the ball. He passes it back to Rueling. 3 minutes, 30 seconds of the second half. Calut. Pedro tries to play with Ramos. I don't know. I'm not sure if the player from Lakeland asked for a substitution right there. It's a throw-in a defensive position for Florida Premier, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to everyone who took a little break in halftime. Here we continue at Bryant Stadium with Lakeland United much better than Florida Premier. The header by Arroyo. There goes Hunter Lindsay. Number 66 lost the ball without a foul. So it's a tack for Lakeland United. A quick pass towards Luca Pereira. Pereira towards the right side. That's Roelli. That's not Roelli. The pass towards Luca Ramos with the cross. That's number 39. That's Jacob Fox. Free kick for Florida Premier. There goes the clearance. Canuto comes out. That's a foul by Canuto. Ladies and gentlemen, this could be a red card. From this distance, yeah, it's just a yellow card then for Eduardo Canuto. The players are arguing with the ref because of the decision he made, believing it should have been a red one.
Come on, coach! Red card! The last guy.
The last man.
The last man.
It's a free kick for Florida Premier.
He was about to score. What are you talking about?
It's the first yellow card in Lakeland United.
He didn't even care. He was about to hurt the kid.
Porque no tiene más arquero, pero no lo saca. Oh, come on, man. It's good, por favor.
Mohamed Taherin is the player who received the foul and who still is down on the ground now with the help of his teammates. He comes back up. The coach of Florida Premier talking with the fourth official. Clearly not happy with the decision the main ref did.
Quantas águas tem aí? The shirt over here. And he gives a yellow for that. Remember? He grabbed the guy's shirt. Just grab the guy's shirt and give him the yellow over here. And then over here, the guy...
A nossa tá cheinha, tá? Tá tranquilo? A nossa tá cheinha, tá?
Good job, Red!
7 minutes of the second half. Florida Premier has this opportunity. When they were struggling the most, they could actually score the second goal of the game. And so here comes the cross toward the far post. Canuto clears it out. It could be a counter-attack if they play correctly. Long ball over the left side. Two attackers against two defenders. It's a great opportunity for Lakeland. Omar Yousaf awaits the cross. There goes the ball towards the right side. That's number 31. That's the cross from Ramos. It's a good header. Omar Yousaf couldn't score. Amazing play by Lakeland United. The ball over the right side with number 31, Pedro Ramos. They almost scored. Played in short. Over the left side. That's Cantaras. Leaving the ball with Toro, the captain. Landon Heb. The pressure by Luca Friga. Back to the goalkeeper, Maximus McCulloch, who clears it out. Towards the center. That's Jacob Fox with the header. The ball went out, said the ref. Played back with Cantaras. Cantaras left the ball with Landen Hev. The pressure from Lakeland this time didn't work out. Good ball towards the backs of the defenders. Good work by Fox, who recovered the ball. That's Mikhailov. He tried to play back. Arroyo with the recovery. They ask for a foul, but the game continues. Narvaez lost the ball fair and square, but the ref calls it back. It is a free kick for Florida Premier, and it could be a yellow card for Jacob Fox. Let's see. Now, just a warning. It's a free kick for Florida Premier. Silly mistake here in between the defenders. A clear foul by Jacob Fox. And after that, a good defense by Pedro Alejandro. Another free kick for Florida Premier. Let's see which player takes care of it. It seems like Mohamed Tahedin, number 70, wants to take care of it. Hunter Lindsay is also there. Four players of Lakeland on the barrier. Eduardo Canuto aligns his teammates against ready for this free kick. Here comes Tahedin or Hunter Lindsay. The ref blows the whistle. Mohamed with the shot is not a good one. The ball went out, and it's a goal kick for Eduardo Canuto and for Lakeland United. Now, we'll have to wait for the arrival of a brand new ball. And here it comes. Canuto puts the ball down and plays with Mikhailov, the captain. Back to Canuto. Ramos is asking for a pass over the right side. Mikhailov instead goes with Pedro Alejandro. Good dribbling skills by Pedro, who tried to play forward. The recovery by Toro, Florida Premier. Now, is starting to improve. Good dribbling skills. There goes the cross. Mikhailov with the clearance. Another throw in for Florida Premier.
Substitution. Coming off number 56, Juan Adrian Munoz. Coming onto the pitch, number 34, João Martins.
Another substitution was made in Lakeland United. João Martins was subbed in. There goes the cross. Eduardo Canuto found the ball just in time. The pass from Pedro Ramos towards the center. That's number 50, Pedro Calut. Good run by Pedro. Pedro towards the left side. That's a good pass. They make a cross towards the center. And the goalkeeper, Maximus McCulloch, is able to grab it. He clears it out. Mikhailov. That's a foul by Mikhailov? No, it wasn't. It was a clean recovery. Pedro Alejandro is asking for a short pass, but instead, they go back with Mikhailov. Jacob Fox. That's number 39. Fox goes back with the captain. Jono leaves the ball with number 34, João Martins. Martins over the left side. That's Pereira. Pereira goes forward. The cross by Pereira. It's a good control by Omar. Omar tries to turn around, but he's not able to shoot. The clearance and a counter attack by Florida Premier. That's a foul. The ref says it isn't. I'm surprised by this. The game continues. That's Jacob Fox. Fox towards the left side. Pedro Alejandro runs after the ball. He controls it. Short passes. That's Martins. João Martins. That's number 50, Pedro Calut. PK opening the ball with Lucas Jungers. Jungers with the cross towards the far post. The header by Ramos. There's nobody there. And Giorgio Cantaras clears it out. The recovery by Mihailov. The captain towards Jacob Fox. Here comes the center back. Fox, good dribbling skills by Fox. Amazing pass towards the right side. Ramos. Pedro enters the box. He makes a cross, and the goalkeeper, Maximus McCulloch, with the save and a long ball towards the strikers. Be careful here. It's a counter-attack at full speed. Mohamed Tahedin. Mohamed keeps going. 3 defenders try to stop Mohamed. Tahedin turns around. That's a penalty, ladies and gentlemen. Penalty kick after the foul from the captain, Jono Mihailov. Florida Premier FC has a penalty kick and the chance of scoring the second goal of the match. An amazing run, an amazing effort by Mohamed, who recovered the ball. A late tackle by the captain, Mihailov. And it's going to be a yellow card. The ref has a yellow card in his hand. I believe he's searching for Mihailov. Yeah. Yellow card for number 13, Jono Mihailov, the captain. The one responsible for that foul. And as we play the 15th minute of the second half, Mohamed Tahedin, the player who received the foul, has the chance of scoring the second goal of the game. The ref tells Eduardo Canuto to keep his feet on the line, at least one of them. Mohamed against Eduardo. The ref blows the whistle. Here comes Mohamed Tahedin. It's in. The second goal of the match, scored by Mohamed Tahedin. Florida Premier 2, Lakeland United 0. A strong execution. Nothing that Eduardo Canuto could have done to stop that shot. Ladies and gentlemen, 16 minutes of the second half. Florida Premier is winning by 2. Another substitution in Lakeland United, ladies and gentlemen. I believe, I don't know if it's Mihailov or Pedro Alejandro, the one who's being subbed out. Another center back. And the game continues. That's Jacob Fox. I don't know if that's number 29, Joao Vitor Lopez. We'll have to get a closer look at him. Long ball over the left side. The clearance by Landon Hebb.
No! You didn't hear that. Nah. It's just a throwing, but it's definitely deflected if you heard it right here.
The throw-in already played in short. Lakeland loses the ball, and that's another counter-attack opportunity, although this time the ball left the field. That's number 38. That's Connor Berg, the player who came in at the last substitution for Lakeland. Once again, Connor. Connor towards Pedro Ramos. Pedro playing in short with Luca Frigo. The clearance. Florida Premier has the ball. No, they do not, because Connor gets in the way and plays back with Canuto. Fox. Jacob turns around. Back to Connor. Back to Jacob. Almost 20 minutes of the second half. Jacob Fox stops the ball and plays over the left side. That's Joao Martins. Martins back to the goalkeeper. Eduardo Canuto. Canuto over the right side with Connor Berg.
Conseguiu. Você não conseguiu falar com ele.
The pressure by Arroyo, the pass back to the center back Jacob Fox, and Jacob plays it long over the left side. It's a good attempt and an amazing pass. Here comes Lakeland United, trying to score one. It's a good shot, the goalkeeper, Maximus McCulloch, making a save. Lakeland is attempting to get back on the game. After that penalty, they were close, so close to the equalizer, and now they are 2 goals down. But a 2-goal lead is tricky. If Lakeland is able to score, they still have time to make a comeback. Corner, back to the goalkeeper Canuto. Canuto with Jacob. Jacob over the left side. It's official. Lakeland is playing with only 3 defenders, and here they go, trying to score. It's a good opportunity in the center of the field. Pedro Ramos awaits. That's Luca Frigo with the shot. Good blockage by Florida Premier, and after that the clearance. A recovery. There goes Mihailov. Pedro Alejandro. Pedro Alejandro. Now Lakeland goes forward. Long ball towards Luca. Frigo runs for the ball. The recovery by Giorgio Cantaras, who clears it out. Jacob Fox tries to stop this attack. Giorgio with a long pass. This time he's not able to break through the defense of Lakeland. Connor. Connor plays forward with number 50, Pedro Calut. Pedro Calut with Mihailov. Another good opportunity over the left side. That's Lucas Jungers. Jungers, he could play back. The ball is lost and it's cleared out by Florida Premier. Once again, Pedro Alejandro. Pedro Alejandro goes forward. Pedro Calut tried to shoot. The shot got blocked. Once again, Lakeland insists. There goes the cross towards the far post, towards Pedro Ramos. Good control by Pedro. Great work by Ramos here. Pedro shoots! And over the left post. Lucas Jungers went after the ball but couldn't make the tap in. Great work by Lucas Ramos, by Pedro Ramos. Lucas Jungers was the player who almost scored. Pedro Ramos had a good game today as well. Both Pedro Alejandro and Pedro Ramos were important players for Lakeland. There goes the ball. Jacob Fox protects it, and he's gonna go back with Canuto. He also could play with Connor. Instead, he goes forward. That's a foul. The ref says it isn't a foul. Florida Premier recovers the ball then. Good pressure by Pedro Ramos. Here comes Omar. Yusuf plays with Pedro Ramos. Throw in for Florida Premier. David Heilman going back with Giorgio Cantaras. And Cantaras leaving the ball with Landon Hebb. It's going to be the 5th victory for Florida Premier. And they'll still be undefeated if Lakeland doesn't make a comeback. Long ball towards the left side, towards Arroyo. Connor gets in the way. He plays with Pedro Ramos. One of the players of Florida Premier is down on the ground. Lakeland is still attacking. There goes the shot. And ladies and gentlemen, Lakeland United is back on the game. Amazing shot from the distance by number 22, Lucas Jungers. Lakeland United 1, Florida Premier 2. Lakeland United really surprised us with that shot. It's the 2nd goal of the season for number 22, Lucas Jungers. Placing the ball just far enough away from the goalkeeper, Maximus McCulloch, to make that save. Well, I stand by what I said earlier. A 2-0 scoreboard is really tricky. Lakeland United has scored and they could make a comeback. Although now the ref stops the game. Ladies and gentlemen, hydration break. Time for the players to drink some water and listen to their coaches. We still have 22 more minutes before the end of this game. Here's the penalty kick from Mohamed that allowed Florida Premier to take a 2-goal lead. But of course, before that goal, we had this one from Maximo Narvaez at the first half. Good pressure, good recovery, leaving the goalkeeper on the ground and scoring. That was the 1-0. The second one arrived around the 10th minute of the second half. A good penalty kick by Mohamed Taherin. And the only goal of Lakeland so far, scored by Lucas Youngers. Connor with the pass towards Pedro Ramos. Pedro with a quick pass to Joao Martins. Joao Martins with Lucas, and Youngers with a banger. Lakeland United is still on the game. Once again, just 1 goal behind Florida Premier. The substitutions that head coach Pedro Ivo Diaz made have definitely turned Lakeland into an offensive team with only 2 defenders, Jacob Fox and Connor Berg. Right now, Pedro Alejandro is trying to help out as well, but the only 2 defenders who are always on the back of the team are Fox and Connor Berg. The rest of the team is trying to recover quickly and get close to the goal of Maximus McCulloch, just like they did before, just like they did just now. A quick recovery, 2 passes, and a shot that allowed Lakeland to be just 1 goal away from Florida Premier. The players of Lakeland return to the field. We have 20 more minutes of regular time, plus some injury time, to see how this game is gonna go.
Aí comprei 2 barrinhas de cereal, acho que já comeram tudo. Depois você me fala aí, quando chegar no vestiário. Me avisa quando... Porque o pessoal tá indo agora pro vestiário. Então depois você fala aqui. Ah, tá. Qualquer coisa pode pedir pra mim agora. Tá, aí me fala que tem aí no vestiário.
The players from Florida Premier are also returning to the field. A substitution, Mohamed Tahedin was subbed out. Number 70, number 55, Anthony Willoughby is going to be subbed in. A good match from Mohamed Tahedin. He scored a goal. He was always a problem on the defense of Lakeland. And now it's time for Anthony Willoughby. The ref blows the whistle, the game continues. 18 more minutes. Pass going forward, good recovery by Lakeland. And yeah, they score once and they want to score as soon as possible. It's a good opportunity with Pedro Ramos. Here comes Pedro. Pedro lost the ball. Now Florida Premier going for a counter-attack. The ref stops the game. Free kick that Florida Premier has already played. Over the right side, London have. Long ball from London. A throw in for Lakeland. Pedro Alejandro ready to play. Quick pass to Jacob Fox. The match is not over. Far from that. Connor Berg. Connor takes a moment. He goes towards the center. He goes with Pedro Alejandro. That was a good pass. Pedro Alejandro keeps going forward with Lucas Youngers. The pass towards the center, and that's Asher Bode with the recovery. The clearance is not good. Pedro Ramos with the recovery now. Here comes Lakeland. The pass over the left side is not perfect. It's not good. It's recovered by Heaven. And the ball is now recovered by Lakeland. Martins. Ramos. Ramos goes forward with Pedro Calut. The clearance. And it's a throw-in for Lakeland. Pedro Alejandro goes back. That's Jacob Fox. Over the right side, Connor awaits a pass, and he receives it. Here comes Connor. Connor over the right side, and it's gonna be a throw-in for Lakeland after Arroyo touched it. Ramos volunteers to do the throw-in. He could play with Pedro Calut. Instead, he goes for Omar Yousaf. Omar protects the ball. Yousaf goes back with Ramos. Ramos leaves the ball with Luca Frigo. Luca Frigo with great dribbling skills. He loses the ball from behind. The clearance by Giorgio Cantaras. And here comes Connor Berg. Canuto, Eduardo. Sends the ball forward. And it's an easy catch for Maximus McCulloch.
Nem a Chris tem que
There goes the ball by the goalkeeper. Pedro Ramos gives it back. Asher Boat with the recovery. And it's going to be another ball for Pedro Alejandro. Opening over the left side. The pressure and the recovery by Florida Premier. Here comes the team from Tampa, losing the ball against Pedro Alejandro. Once again, Pedro Alejandro. Amazing pressure. And here comes Lakeland for the equalizer. The pass over the left side. There goes the shot. The goalkeeper, Maximus McCulloch. McCulloch has just saved Florida Premier from conceding the equalizer. It's going to be a corner kick. Amazing effort by Pedro Alejandro throughout the whole match. Omar Yousaf with the shot. And McCulloch with the save. Here comes another corner kick, and just like before, all of the players from Lakeland are awaiting on the far post. 50 minutes before the end of the regular time, and there goes the cross towards the first post, cleared out by Florida Premier. The pass from Calut, back to Pedro Alejandro. Pedro Calut. Pedro Alejandro. Number 15, over the left side there's space. Pedro decides to keep the ball for himself, and now he plays it. Back to Pedro Alejandro. It's a tough moment for Florida Premier. Lakeland with great passes goes through. They could shoot once again. Another shot by Lucas Youngers. This time it went out of the field. A goal kick for Florida Premier as Lakeland United once again is closer to the equalizer. The pass from the goalkeeper, McCulloch with Giorgio Cantaras. Short ball to Asher Bode. Asher plays it forward. Eduardo Canuto comes out. Eduardo doesn't make a foul. The shot by Murillo is not a goal. Johan Murillo with good speed tried to score, but he missed. Pass. Back to Pedro Alejandro. Pedro Alejandro with Jacob Fox. Jacob Fox over the left side. Another opportunity for Lakeland. Jacob Fox. Jacob Fox over the left side with Pedro Alejandro. 13 minutes and it's over. Martins back to Pedro Alejandro. Connor is asking for a pass. Pedro Alejandro gives him the ball. Here comes Connor. Connor Berg. Pedro Calut. Pedro with Pedro Ramos. Ramos goes forward. Good pass towards Luca Frigo. The recovery by David Hillman. Here comes Arroyo. Arroyo turns around. The pass going with Giorgio Cantaras. The pressure by Luca Friga. The clearance by Florida Premier. And the recovery. That's a ball for Florida Premier. Johan Murillo lost the ball. That's a foul from Johan, and it should be a yellow card towards Murillo. Free kick. That's Pedro Ramos already played. Joe Martins towards the left side. Pedro Alejandro goes forward. He leaves the ball over the left side. They're going to try to make a cross. They played in with Youngers. Lucas. Youngers turns around. He leaves the ball with Joao Martins. Martins over the right side. Pedro Ramos. Ramos with the cross. Good header. And be careful with the clearance. The shot is in! The equalizer. Omar Yousaf. Number 49. Now Lakeland is tied with Florida Premier. Lakeland United 2, Florida Premier 2. Here's the replay of that whole play. Great cross by Ramos and Omar Yousaf, who was there, who was lurking for the ball, shot and scored once again. Omar Yousaf. This is the first goal for the player born in New York City.
Substitution for Florida Premier FC2 coming off the pitch.
To Mexican parents
Number 19, Dion Chapa.
who played with the Leon.
Number 14,
Good goal by Omar Yousaf. And Florida Premier has made a substitution following the goal, following the equalizer from Lakeland. And now, I said it before, I'll say it again. When you are 2-0 up, it's tricky. It's difficult. If you don't know how to protect that victory, that lead, then you could lose it all. And Florida Premier might lose everything they've been working for against this Lakeland. The pressure, that's a foul. The ref says it's not a foul. It's a throw-in for Lakeland, and so Pedro Ramos plays quickly. The pass over the left side once again. And Lakeland wants the 3 points. That's Lucas Youngers. Youngers loses the ball. Good speed, that's a foul. And there's going to be a substitution in Lakeland. Number 29, Joao Vitor Lopez, is going to be replacing Pedro Calut. I like the match from Pedro today. Pedro Calut out, Joao Vitor Lopez in. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 10 more minutes of regular time. The match is incredible. The match itself deserves a like. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for following the game, for supporting your team, for cheering for your friends and family. Florida Premier wants to get back on the lead. Murillo runs after the ball, but he's not going to make it. It's going to be a goal kick for Eduardo Canuto and for Lakeland United. Lakeland was losing, but thanks to the goal scored by Youngers and Yousaf, they are back on the match. There was an offside position from Murillo, that's why it's going to be a free kick. And there goes Fox, leaving the ball with Pedro Alejandro. Pedro Alejandro keeps going forward. Great passes here. And there goes Lucas Youngers. Youngers, another good player from Lakeland today. And here comes the Swans. They cross towards the center of the far post. That's Pedro Ramos. The goalkeeper. It's in! The third one! The comeback! Lakeland United is winning the match. Amazing goal by the Swans, who are now winning the game. Lakeland 3. Florida Premier 2. The goal was scored by number 17, by Shintaro Kawabata. After a good attempt by Pedro Ramos, Shintaro was the one who sealed the deal. Kawabata, the player from Japan, is scoring his first goal with Lakeland. And Lakeland is now winning the match. They are defeating an undefeated team. Amazing second half from the Swans. Amazing substitutions by the head coach Pedro Ivo Diaz as well. I should point out that one of the main factors of these comebacks are the decisions made by the head coach. Their recovery by Lakeland, and they want to score the fourth one. Here comes Lakeland. The recovery by Giorgio Cantaras. The pass over the left side. That's number 19. The recovery with a foul by number 29, Joao Vitor Lopez. Free kick for Florida Premier. Ladies and gentlemen, Lakeland United is winning. They were 2 down. Now they're 1 up. The recovery. And yeah, the Swans won the 4th one. It's a good counter-attack. Long ball towards Pedro Ramos. Pedro doesn't have the stamina to keep running after that ball, after everything he'd done. We're going to have to say that maybe Shintaro is the best player of the match. Pedro Ramos sends the ball out, but in all honesty, all the players from Lakeland deserve some praise today. Eduardo Canuto, Jono Mijailov, Pedro Alejandro. But for that, we'll have to wait until the end of the match. Offside position. Free kick for the Swans. Free kick for Lakeland. They played in short with Eduardo. Canuto gives the ball back to Connor. Connor plays with Jacob Fox. Fox back to the goalkeeper Canuto. Canuto has to play with Pedro Alejandro. And that's exactly what he does. Pedro Alejandro. The pass towards the left side, back to Pedro. Pedro towards Jacob Fox. Jacob Fox, he struggles. He keeps the ball and plays back with Pedro Canuto, with Eduardo Canuto. That's Connor Berg. Berg towards Jacob Fox. Jacob Fox with Pedro Alejandro. There's going to be 2 more substitutions on Florida Premier as soon as the ball leaves the field. That's Shintaro. Shintaro Kawabata. That's number 34. The pass from João Martins back to Fox. Fox with Alejandro. Back to Shintaro. Shintaro Kawabata plays it forward. And here comes Lucas Gingers. Lucas towards the center with Omar. Yusuf could shoot. Omar towards the right side towards Pedro Ramos. Ramos with the cross. And Omar Yusuf tried to score from there, but the ball went out. Goal kick for Maximus McCulloch and for Florida Premier. Two more substitutions on Florida Premier. Maximus McCulloch plays the ball towards the midfield. The recovery by Omar. Let's see what happens here with number 95, Hillman, who lost the ball against Pedro Ramos. Back to Canuto, and Canuto with Connor Berg. Pedro Ramos. Pedro Ramos towards the center. It was a tricky pass. It's a foul. It's going to be a free kick, and it's a yellow card to the player from Florida Premier who committed the foul. Free kick for Lakeland United.
Lakeland thanks you, ref.
Yellow card issued for number 98, Constantino.
That's number 98, Constantinos Cantaras, who just received the yellow card. Jacob Fox leaves the free kick with Eduardo Canuto. Canuto towards the left side, searching for Shintaro. That's Landon Hebb heading the ball out of the field. An important victory for Lakeland. If they secure these 3 points, they are going to go up. They're going to reach the 7th position of the Florida West Conference.
Substitution for Florida Premier FC 2. Coming onto the pitch, number 22.
A substitution once again
Coming off the pitch, number 62.
in Lakeland United. I believe Shintaro was the one who was just subbed out. A good match by Kawabata. Both teams struggle to keep the ball. In the end, it's Florida Premier, the ones who keep it, and they play over the left side. A long pass towards number 23, Landon Hebb. Hebb goes down. They are asking for a penalty, although the ref just tells Landon to get up. That was not a foul. It's going to be a goal kick for Lakeland United. It's a corner kick for Florida Premier, says the ref. 1 minute, 30 seconds before the end of the regular time. Lakeland United is winning for the 3rd time in a row. It seems like Landon is still in pain. The cross towards the far post. That's Willeman. David Hillman lost the ball, but still, it's a throw-in for Florida Premier. There goes the ball towards the box. The shot by number 8. It went out. It's going to be another corner kick. Yes, it is. Another corner kick for Florida Premier. Not this time. Goal kick for Eduardo Canuto. Goal kick for Lakeland United. As we reach the end of the regular time. Last 40 seconds. Eduardo Canuto is going to send the ball flying towards Florida Premier side. Nobody's able to touch the ball. Both teams struggle to recover it. There was an offside position from the striker of Lakeland United. There's going to be a yellow card for the player from Lakeland United who kept the ball for themselves. The game continues. We're officially playing injury time. What a match it has been. And remember, after this game, we're going to have another one. Lakeland United against Florida Premier, this time on the Premier Division. A quick pass to Hillman. Back to Giorgio Cantaras. Long pass from the center back. Canuto. Canuto missed the ball. It's going to be equalizer and it's in. Florida Premier scores the equalizer after a huge mistake by Eduardo Canuto, who cannot believe his mistake. Florida Premier 3. Lakeland United 3. And it's a tie once again. Eduardo Canuto couldn't grab the ball. And the striker from Florida Premier, number 12, Hubert Kumik, the player from Poland, was able to score the equalizer for Florida Premier. Good work by Hubert Kumik, number 12. What a match it has been today. And of course, Florida Premier goes for the victory now. That's number 22, Lucas Moreno. That's number 19, John Shala. The pass from Moreno towards the far side. The recovery by Martins, who plays it back. Pedro Alejandro. Lakeland goes for the victory. After an intense game, here comes Pedro Ramos. Ramos with the cross, and I believe Maximus McCullough touched it. No, the ref says no one touched the ball after that cross from Pedro Ramos. It's a goal kick then. Amazing match by Pedro today, really. It's a goal kick for McCullough. It's a goal kick that has already been played, and Lakeland loses the ball. It's a counter-attack for Florida Premier. Long ball. I don't think there's offside position here. Here comes Moreno. There was an offside position by Lucas Moreno. Free kick that Canuto has already played. Last minutes of the match, last minutes of the game. The pass from Joe Victor Lopez towards the left side. Joe Martins over the left side with Pedro Alejandro. Pedro Alejandro keeps it wide. Head coach Pedro Ivo Diaz tells his team, his players to go forward. The pass from Connor towards Pedro Ramos. Connor. Jacob Fox. Jacob turns around. Leaving the ball with Pedro Alejandro. Pedro Alejandro over the left side. Lakeland. They tried to do a 1-2. They were unable to do it. It's a throw-in for Florida Premier. Florida Premier was winning by 2. Lakeland United made a comeback. They were 3-2 on top. And Hubert Kumik scored the equalizer for the team from Tampa. Now the ball is going to leave again. And it's going to be, once again, a throw-in for Florida Premier. And here comes number 55, Anthony Willoughby. It's going to be one of the last plays of the game. So there goes the throw-in. The players from Lakeland attempt to recover the ball. They are able to do so, and they quickly play with Pedro Ramos. Pedro Ramos towards the left side. From right side to left side. Despite the best intentions, the player from Lakeland couldn't control the ball. And ladies and gentlemen, that was the last play of the game. After 94 minutes here at Bryant Stadium, Lakeland United and Florida Premier have tied in an amazing and thrilling match, 3-3. Once again, and for the final time, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for following the game live on the YouTube channel of Lakeland United. Thanks to your support, this broadcast was possible. If you enjoyed it, please leave your like. It really helps out. And please know that this broadcast was made possible thanks to the production of Better Media with the direction of Gonzalo Echeverri and the assistance of Tamara Juarez. Thanks to them and thanks to all of you, this was possible. So, I bid you farewell. It's been a pleasure here at Bryant Stadium. Lakeland United and Florida Premier have tied 3-3. Until the next game of the United Premier Soccer League Division 1. Bye-bye.
Remember thinking outside, let's start again. See, my mama was having no way, selling down to the jet, I was dead and I started again. See, my pops was the boss, I acknowledged it.